Thank you everyone for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us or listen to us chat about some of the different things that we're doing to help restaurants reopen. Some of the things that we and our team have been looking at is taking a look at some of the proposed guidelines. Yesterday, Governor Newsom in California actually released the game plan for dine-in restaurants and the plan for phased reopening. And just as we suspected, a lot of what we're needing to do is look at things for safe distancing, sanitation, temperature checking, protective equipment. You're going to have to put new policies and procedures in place. And there's going to be a lot of changes to every restaurant and how they're going to operate. And what we want to take a look at today is how can technology help with some of these transitions, right? Because within all of this, technology is going to play a huge part. We're going to help drive revenue back into your business, whether it's through utilizing online ordering, whether it's through contactless payments and or mobile ordering, whether it's through allowing you to use technology to maximize social distancing, putting processes in place with technology so that you can see how often tables are being sat and manage those tables and manage the guests that are in your building. Many people have already subscribed to Focus Cloud, which is our offering that allows you to take full advantage of all of the different features within Focus. One of the things that we have already preemptively set up for Focus Cloud subscribers is the ability to record temperatures on time cards. Temperature checks is going to be a big piece, and obviously helping your staff manage this is going to be huge as well. Okay, so on time cards, you can actually specify definable fields, and we've already updated this for all Focus Cloud users. So you can actually go in and record against every employee's time card what their temperature was. This will also display on the attendance report. This can be customized into that attendance report, into existing reporting that you're already looking at, or you can generate a temperature report specifically for this. Focus Cloud also allows you to do modifications and make changes from the web. This also gives you real-time data backup as well as web-based reporting. Focus Kitchen Video allows you to put orders through to the kitchen and easily manage those orders. What we're seeing happen a lot in some of the guidelines that are being released is suggesting that kitchens be reorganized or changed so that the kitchen staff can maintain social distancing. And that's often hard with printers that are static and can only be in one place. Focus's Kitchen Video runs on Android tablets. Those tablets, obviously, we highly recommend using the ELO Android tablets for durability. And those ELO tablets can be pretty much placed wherever you have network connectivity. And it doesn't necessarily have to be on the same POS network. This is a cloud-based product and would allow you a little bit of flexibility of where that kitchen display needs to go. This also allows you to have the ability to recall orders and manage those orders without having to deal with paper tickets. These displays can also easily be cleaned and sanitized. And it just offers you a lot more flexibility than you would have with a paper ticket. We're seeing a lot of restaurants actually shift their gift card model and trying to utilize gift cards as a way to pump additional revenue into their business during this time. Okay, so this can boost cash flow with through gift card sales, but often even existing Focus gift clients, you still had to have physical gift cards. You still had to have a way to get those cards to guests. And when guests aren't coming into the building, it makes it really hard. So our team pushed out a product for Focus eGift. So now with Focus Gift, which is included with Focus Cloud, you can fully integrate both your brick and mortar gift cards as well as electronic gift cards online. And guests can buy or send digital gift cards and receive them via email. Those gift cards then can be redeemed at the store just like normal. So this is a huge potential to augment your revenue flow, making sure that you're still having cash flow come in, even if your doors aren't currently open. It's also a way to, allow people to help boost your cash flow, even when you're open, but obviously not back up to full capacity. Another way we're seeing people push more revenue through is online ordering. Focus already has integrations to third-party online ordering companies, as well as third-party delivery aggregators, such as It's a Checkmate. Things like that are already existing, and you can utilize those and still utilize those. But what we've been seeing a lot of is that those other companies, the ramp up time is over a month to get something going. And so our team really wanted to be able to put something in the hands of restaurateurs to be able to help manage while their business is closed for dine-in service, or allow them to augment their style of service. So whether it's increasing the amount of takeout or moving to takeout only. Focus Online was released and allows you to place orders from the web direct into your kitchen. Focus Online is directly integrated with Focus, meaning that it actually talks back and forth. The really cool thing about this is things like prices and stock checks are done. These checks are done before the order is actually put down into the restaurant. This allows all the orders to be correct the first time around. There's no weird extra fees associated onto the check or price adjustments. All of the items and modifiers and prep instructions come directly from the POS as well. So when you add a new item, you can synchronize that up to the cloud as well and to your online ordering. These pages are compatible with both desktop and mobile. And one of the augmentations that we're working on for this as well is the ability to actually be able to use this table side as well. So a guest can place an order through online and be able to specify where they're sitting at. One of the other pieces that we've seen in the guidelines that are being released is the need to reduce the quantity of guests within the restaurant. This is a huge shift, obviously, for all restaurants, because the idea has always been that we're packing as many people as we can within the building, right? We're maximizing the space that we have, and we're still going to have to do that. You're still going to have to maximize your floor plan, but it's just going to look a little bit differently. Some of the interesting things that we've been seeing, definitely across the nation, the whole idea has been a percentage of your maximum occupancy. The guidance released by Governor Newsom yesterday basically outlined that it's not necessarily a percentage. It's just that you're sticking within that idea of 6 feet of physical distance, which gives you a lot of leeway and room to play. And with that, with reopening these dining rooms, one of the things that you're going to have to do is control the number of guests within your building. Knowing which tables are ready to be sat, understanding, how many guests you have in the queue, and what tables you can use. You can change things like your floor plan, creating a new floor plan that is your new table layout. You can utilize things like focus wait list. This definitely allows you to manage those guests, how many guests that are with each party. It allows you to seat them to the specific tables and manage that. But the biggest thing with this is it allows you to send them a text message when their table's ready, allowing you to keep those guests outside of the building until you actually have a space to put them. Along with this, for takeout environments and quick service, the other piece to this is our order ready text messaging. And order ready text messaging can be used pretty much in any workflow that you're using, but it allows you to link a mobile number to a check. And this is huge because I can then, once that number is linked, I can send predefined text message notifications to that number. It doesn't have to be the same message over and over again. I can give them status updates, things like your order will be ready in 10 minutes, or your order is ready for pickup in cubby number 5, or your order is ready, please pull into parking spot number 6. Things like that allow you to kind of control the workflow and control where you want that guest to go. Whether you're doing different pickup areas, whether you're doing curbside, there's a lot of flexibility in how you use this and to send a notification to that guest. One of the really cool things with this as well is that phone number any orders that come from Focus Online will automatically have that phone number tied to that order, meaning that you can give communication to the guests that, hey, you can place your order online and then wait for us to let you know when it's ready so that you can come in and pick it up. Another big piece with all of this is contactless payments. Focus already has EMV chip readers powered by Focus Pay. So anyone using Focus Pay already is leveraging these EMV chip card readers, which already support Apple Pay, Google Pay, and NFC credit cards. So allows you to take secure payments, but also allows you to already be contactless ready. One of our new products as well, Focus On, is powered by Focus Pay and allows you to take orders and payments from anywhere. And this is huge because, especially with all of the curbside ordering and pickup that is going on, this allows you to take this device wherever you need to go and have your staff be able to either ring in an order, send it through to the kitchen, or you can even just pay it out. This is also going to be handy once dining rooms start reopening because you can ensure that your servers have less contact and less interaction, possibly even with guests. You're not having to do multiple check drops or having to go back and forth to a POS station. I can do everything from this device to ring orders and to pay them out. The other nice piece with this is these devices are cellular ready, meaning that if I don't have wireless capabilities in the areas that I want to use these devices, you can actually use them on a cellular plan as well. Our next phase of this development is going to be our Focus On Pay app. So this is going to be mobile paying, meaning it's going to give guests the ability to pay out on their own mobile device. Okay, so I, as a guest, can come in, I can order, I can still have a dining experience, but then when I'm going to pay, I can scan a QR code, whether it's on our Focus On device, whether it's from a guest receipt, whether it's from maybe a rear display on one of the POS stations if I'm in a quick service environment. This allows complete zero contact, meaning the guest is paying it out on a mobile ready web page on their own device. They're not having to touch any other pieces of equipment. Your staff is not having to touch their credit card or anything else. There's zero contact required. So with all of these newer pieces of technology, one of the things our team decided to do is we wanted to put a bundle together that will really help restaurants get all of the pieces that they need to face some of these coming obstacles. So things like Focus Online, where not everyone has online ordering, and we all know that utilizing third-party delivery companies is crazy expensive and cuts into your profits. So Focus Online was an important thing, one, for us to get out to you, but we also wanted to be able to offer that for free so that you guys can maximize the amount of profit that you're making with every single order. So part of this reopening bundle, we definitely included Focus Online. We've included order ready texting, so that can help you manage when people can come in and out of the building. E-gift cards, another big piece, obviously wanting to help drive that cash flow and helping you out there to make sure that you're offering things to your guests so that when you do open back up, you can still stay in front of them and still offer them options as far as helping out remotely. And then contactless payments. Okay, so the handhelds are free right now through Focus Pay, and you if you are already processing with Focus Pay, you can reach out to us and get more information about how you can add those on if you're already utilizing handhelds and or EMV. All of these pieces will be free for 1 month. We do ask that you sign up before May 29th so that you can, and sign up before that so you can take full advantage of your full free month. You obviously must be an existing Focus CA client. It would be a little rough transitioning a full-blown POS system to be able to utilize all of these. Obviously, we're more than welcome to get you a full-blown system as well. But these are all tools that people already using Focus can leverage. And you must be using Focus Pay to utilize all of these tools as part of this bundle. So next I want to kind of open up and have a little conversation. I'm going to have Brock from our projects team join us, and we want to kind of talk about what are some of these challenges that restaurants are having to kind of go through at this point. Hi, Brock.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
So kind of wanted to just chat and talk to you about pose some different questions that you and I can chat about. And we both have been talking a lot with restaurateurs across different concept types across the country, kind of seeing everything that they're having to do and what they're changing and how they're tackling some of these changes. So my first question, for us to chat about is what needs to change in restaurants?
Right. So the last, couple months since everything kind of shut down, that's all I've been doing is working with these locations, either or changing their workflows in their POS and getting them onto Focus Online Ordering. And the ones that are the most successful and ramping up the quickest are the ones that are taking their time and putting a lot of forethought into their menus. their menu items, how they're selling them, and what they're offering. From all aspects, whether it's a food cost aspect, the beverage cost aspect, production aspect, where you're looking into how much labor is this menu item going to take, and also how you're selling it. So if you have a menu item in the restaurant, a server, a bartender, they sell that item much differently, and that's how you interact with the POS, with modifiers and workflow and that sort of thing. When you're putting these menu items onto an online platform, that's a whole other way of how you order it, how the customer interacts with it. So we're really having to think about and look at how these menu items are placed on the online platform and how a customer interacts with them, because it's much different than how a server would interact with an item.
Right. And I think the thing that people want to look at is that they want to give people, some flexibility, but the problem becomes you're dealing with a never-ending rabbit hole of people trying to make crazy changes to every single item. And like you said, not just from a production standpoint, but from an ease of use standpoint, the guests aren't going to want to continue ordering online from somewhere where it feels like a task to get the order put in. And, things like having those full-blown modifications really probably aren't the best idea right now. Mostly because, you're trying to do more with less. And as we all know, if the more modifications someone is making, the more complicated that order is to get out of the kitchen. If we're operating with reduced staff, we are not having maybe all the products that we normally would. So somebody trying to mimic something that they were used to ordering at dine-in probably isn't even an option at this point.
Correct. And that's like I was saying, they're really looking at how a customer is going to order these items going forward, and how it looks on their website. Because if you have this kind of scrambled, junky menu that's really hard to decipher, they probably won't order. They'll go to the next restaurant over that's easier to get their order in and get their food.
How are you seeing some of these restaurants leverage the fact that they can now also sell alcohol?
That's been very interesting. And the ones that are being really smart about it, they're bundling things where they're doing like a family, you see these family meals where it's, dinner for 2, dinner for 4. And then they're offering, this dinner will go well with this bottle or these 2 bottles of wine, or this dinner will go good with a 6-pack of beer, for instance, instead of just selling bottles of beer. So I'm seeing some really interesting things with people leveraging the fact that they have the ability to sell alcohol now, which is a really great way to generate revenue as well.
For sure. So some of the restaurants that have are reopening are dine-in restaurants that maybe weren't doing a lot of takeout. So our next topic I kind of want to chat about is, how do table service locations pivot for takeout? Because a lot of these places weren't ready for takeout service.
Right. So it starts with what we just talked about, the menu, and which menu items you're bringing in and you're producing. And then you're really looking at it, how the data is getting from point A to point Z. So you used to have a server that would go to the table and they would organize the order and they'd put it into the POS and the kitchen would understand. So all of that's going away. All the information now is coming from other sources, whether it's a phone call or the online ordering or Postmates. So we're looking at, changing the workflow on their POS to handle incoming calls, to handle incoming orders, whether it's an external third-party order or these online orders. And that includes, all the data organization as far as, reporting. So you can, discern where these orders are coming from. How can you separate them out so you can see if there are issues or questions, that sort of thing. And then how do you reconcile all these orders? Because you used to reconcile the servers and the bartenders and their banks. Now you're reconciling the restaurant based on all these external orders coming in. So we're working on a lot of data organization and workflow organization.
I think it's important too to kind of point out too the flexibility that Focus has in this sense, because if I'm a table service restaurant and if my system was only ever set up to be mostly geared to that, and maybe I have, I have a takeout button where I can just throw a name on, but with doing more takeout and as many restaurants that do, a large amount of takeout already know and understand there's additional workflow that's needed. If you're doing, high volume takeout orders, it's a lot different than if you just throw out a couple at a time. And those workflow changes, really are easy to implement in Focus because we can create those customized workflows of, okay, how are we starting an order now? We're not starting it from a table. We're having to maybe put in a guest's name, or maybe we're putting in additional information like a phone number or a pickup time and stuff like that, where, things that a restaurant maybe didn't have to think about before because it was just a, standard little takeout order that happens, every once in a while through regular course of business. And I think you're seeing that now that if takeout is going to be my main revenue generator, I need to think about that workflow, how it needs to work, what information I need to be collecting from the guest and maybe putting into the POS, and how do I make those changes? Because most people really haven't had to do a service model change or a workflow change like that. And, that's kind of where our team comes into play, because this is what we do day in and day out. And we're happy to help with these changes, because it definitely, if you can streamline that piece, it's definitely going to make a huge difference in how efficient you're handling all of these takeout orders.
Right. And the ones I'm working with, we're not negating the table service piece of it.
Right.
We're not completely, I think it's important, we're not completely transforming their POS into takeout only. We're future-proofing them so, they can handle this new workflow with, the takeout, but they'll still be able to easily, go back to the table service, however that looks in the future with the reduced capacity, and kind of hybrid it.
Right. Yeah, and I think you're going to see a lot of that. And I don't see takeout going away for quite some time, this level of it, because you're going to have a lot of people that get really used to being able to do takeout. You're going to have a lot of people that are still afraid to go out a lot, and so you're still going to see takeout be relevant for a long, long time because of this.
Right. I agree.
So with the reduced capacity, I think it's interesting that we kind of chat about of this idea of, for some of these table service restaurants, do you fully open with reduced capacity? Does it make sense?
Right. And the conversations I've had is what folks are doing is they're forensically going through their sales data. They're looking at their guest check averages and their guest count averages per day, per shift, if it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, for instance. And then they're overlaying that with, food costs and labor costs to come up with a metric of, okay, if I'm going to open it, whatever the reduced capacity is, because it's different for every venue and, different type of restaurant bar, what is that threshold that you need to do to be profitable? And what is profitable? It's different now than it was before. And maybe that means, some of them are talking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That metric doesn't make sense, takeout only. But on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday brunch, it does make sense because we think we can hit this number and make our profit metric. So that's what I'm seeing. But really forensically going through the data and using the data to drive how you open and when you open and what you're offering, and then, what labor you can afford.
Right. I think it's also important to note that, just because you can reopen doesn't mean that you should reopen. Like if it's not going to make financial sense, stick to the takeout and try to find a way through that. But I really feel like this idea that getting dining rooms open is important, and it is part of the dining experience. And the reduced capacity is going to allow you to definitely, hopefully, get more revenue into the building. And you're still going to have takeout that you're going to need to be doing. You can't probably survive with just dine-in only with the reduced capacity. So yeah, like you're saying, how do you augment that? Do you do takeout all week long, but maybe only dine in several days? Are we doing reduced hours for dine-in service? Are we doing reservation only? That's something that I'm seeing a lot of right now, is that a lot of people are doing it. It's only by reservation so that they can control that capacity. But I think it's also important to note too is many restaurants had to lay off a lot of their staff when all of this happened, and especially servers, especially bartenders. And if we're reopening dining rooms, that means I need to bring some of those people back so that we can adapt to having that dining room open again. What do you see, like who are we bringing back, and what are they doing? Because I feel like right now there's going to be a lot more people with very augmented and multi-hat roles that they're having to do.
Right. Obviously you're going to bring, the kitchen staff back, but it'll depend on the menu that you're producing. That'll determine, how many kitchen employees and in what positions you need. You'll bring back the bartenders because you need to, it's the same as a kitchen employee, you need to create a product. The employees that are bussing and running, because you're still going to need to get food from one place to another and dirty dishes from one place to another. The servers will be interesting because what a server's role is to really manage the table, manage the order, give information to the customers, take payment. And what we're seeing and what we just went through in this webinar is that we're providing tools, and you're going to see technology really managing the table and giving information to these customers and taking payment, that sort of thing. So whether you in the old model you needed 10 servers to manage your floor, maybe you need fewer servers to manage the floor because you have technology managing those aspects.
Right. And I think that's, things like the handhelds are definitely going to be a game changer for a lot of people, because you're able to have a server that can touch on multiple tables, without having to run back and forth as much. And, again, it's kind of all about creating that efficiency and like you said, utilizing the technology to manage things so that you're not having to necessarily have as many people on the floor.
And not as much contact with the customers.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I've been talking to folks about, or I've been hearing.
Well, I've been hearing a lot of the same things, and I know you and I talk about all of this stuff a lot. And that's kind of also one of the points that I want to bring up is, our entire team spends all day, every day thinking about how is technology going to reshape restaurants? How is technology going to help restaurants? Even before this, that's what we spent all day doing. So we love talking about it. I'd love to hear what open looks like for all of you. Please contact us at info@focusca.com. Let us know what your reopening plans are, or if you're already open, how are you transitioning? What are the things that you've found that work for you? And what are the things that we can maybe help with? We love talking about technology and restaurants, and how to get the most out of every piece of technology that you have in your building, and how you can make all of that make you more money and make you more efficient. And we love chatting about all of that and would love to hear from you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We will be sending out a follow-up email with the link to a video so that you can rewatch any of this. Also, please feel free to reach out if you want to chat one-on-one for on any of these topics or anything else that's on your mind. Our team is here to help you through this. Thanks, Brock.
Thank you.